here's the question that we have to ask. Who is actually saying that the Chinese now have the biggest Navy in the world? The answer, the U.S. Pentagon. They certainly can't be wrong, right? After all, it's the Pentagon. Today, is China the biggest, baddest Navy in the world? And why is the Pentagon saying so? Start with the U.S. Pentagon. It's putting out an eye-raising statistic that certainly got my attention, got our attention here during our editorial meeting. It seems to say that China has surpassed our Navy in size and dimension. To prove their point, they cite a number of warships that both countries have now. They say China now has 350 warships, whereas we have a measly 293 warships, thereby alluding to the fact that China's bigger and better when it comes to the Navy than what the United States has. Does that really make the case? Does it make sense? Or is there something here they're not telling us?
Well, Rick, sobering is the right word. So here's what we know. China's People's Liberation Army has now reportedly passed the U.S. in terms of missile development, number of warships, as well as its air defense systems. But that doesn't mean that the U.S. is actually behind. According to the 173-page DoD report, the Pentagon does not claim that China's military is, quote, 10 feet tall, but that the Chinese Communist Party wants it to be and has the plan and resources to reach that goal. One of the main points made in the report is that China has now outnumbered the U.S. in terms of its naval fleet, with 350 warships compared to the U.S.'s 293. But a little reality check here, because of course, even the phrase largest military can mean a lot of different things. For instance, currently the U.S. Navy has 10 times more aircraft than China and 10 times as many aircraft carriers. For their part, China has more active military than the U.S. in terms of total numbers. And speaking of numbers, there is, of course, the issue of military spending. The U.S. budget for military spending is nearly $700 billion a year, while China spends around $200 billion. Oh, and Rick, by the way, there is no mention anywhere in this Pentagon report of China's annual military spending versus the U.S. military spending, because, of course, the two are so dramatically different. But all of this leads us to believe that the Pentagon will soon begin to see lobbyists and military contractors demanding an even larger buildup of U.S. military forces, especially in terms of Navy, very soon.